Hey, my name is Harrison Nuggins, and I am going to tell you why you should move to South Dakota and kind of give a little description about this area. So, I'm going to be going into the economics, taxes, politics, history, culture, and all of that type of stuff, and even the geography of South Dakota. So, kind of a little overview: the population is under 900,000, and the capital of South Dakota is Pierre, South Dakota. And kind of a fun fact about, kind of give you a little fun fact about South Dakota is that there are two big monuments there in the state. One of them is Mount Rushmore, which is four of the greatest presidents that were carved into the side of a mountain: Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt. They are humongous, 60 feet tall. That's crazy. And then the other one is Crazy Horse. It is a remembrance of a great Dakota tribe leader, Crazy Horse. That's kind of, they named it after him. And it's absolutely humongous as well. So, also kind of go into the economics of the state. Is always it has always been known as the farming state. And the top three things that they produce are rye, hay, and sunflowers. And and recently, kind of another economic part of the state that has been a big boom, I call it the wind boom, is the growth of wind energy in the state. It's interesting because they've always relied on farming and selling their harvest and doing all of that, but now people are using that land that they used to harvest product on for harvesting the wind. So, a group of farmers, they donated like 30,000 acres of land, and they put up the big wind turbines to help with more economic growth in the state. And it took a while, but I got this idea from the South Dakota Law Review, and it was published in an article in 2013, and more of the economic side, kind of the tax area. The sales tax in South Dakota is 4.5%, and kind of diverse it. It in Texas it is 8.25%, which is a substantial. It's double that. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go move your business there? I mean, CNN Money even said that South Dakota was the number one state to go and start a business in, and for economic growth and financial stability, and all of, if you want to start big corporations or even a nonprofit. They have the state government just went into publishing a rule about how. And then when I was talking about the number one business thing, I got that idea from the Dakota Roots, and that was an internet article that was published in 2020 as well. And then kind of another thing is, if you wanted to start like a nonprofit, the state government went into law, and they put in that the nonprofits don't have to pay sales tax when they are doing transactions, so they can invest more of that money back into helping people out, donating more food or whatever that nonprofit does. And I got that idea from an article that I got off Gill Library Research Center, and it was written by A. Hansen and J.R. Thompson in 2011. And then kind of to go into the political side of South Dakota, it has always been a red state, very Republican, very red. And what's crazy is, out of all the senators, 33 of them to be exact, 5 of them have been Democrats. And, it kind of just tells you that it's, everyone votes Republican there. And then kind of to get into more of how the country, not the state looks, and the beauty of the state, 2/3 of the land is the rolling hills, is the Great Plains. I'm sorry, and then 1/3 of it is the Great Plains and more of a rugged terrain. And then the cultural side of South Dakota is Native American culture and Midwestern culture. And kind of to go into the Indian culture side of it, they have powwows all over the state, and it was back then controlled by the Sioux tribe and the Dakota tribe, which was kind of back in that time. And then for the Midwestern culture, they went in the. It was mainly just a bunch of cowboys throughout the 1850s through the mid 1850s and then early 1900s. So there was a bunch of cowboys, and just the whole idea of Southern was South Dakota. And every year they have a national buffalo roundup at Custer National Park, and like two to 300 cowboys. They go on their horses and they go and they follow about 1,500 buffalo, and then just it's a fun event that everyone goes to and watches all the buffalo and whatnot. And the history of South Dakota is very interesting. Kind of the fun fact I mentioned earlier about the history of the state. Is Mount Rushmore. Recently the Mount Rushmore has been in the news because with the whole Black Lives Matter and whatnot, they have been defacing national monuments, and the governor just put in the rule about protecting Mount Rushmore. So, and I got that idea from the article on the International Business Times, and it was published in June of 2020. And South Dakota is a great state. It's beautiful. It has a lot of rich facts. The economics of the state is great. And thank you. This is the end of my speech. Thank you for listening.